Okay, so when we're starting, there are two things that we could have with the trapezoid. We could either be missing the height, which is in this case, right? Even though these are the sides, remember the parallel sides are the bases. So we know both bases and we're missing the height right here. Okay? So what we're going to do, no matter what, is we're going to start with the formula area equals half base 1 plus base 2 times height. Now, when we're missing the height, it's a little bit more straightforward. But no matter what we do, we're still going to start with the same step, which is we're going to use this formula and we're going to plug in everything that we know. So in this case, we know the area is 60 square feet, so we're going to replace A with 60 equals half, and we also know both bases, so 10 plus 5, and we don't know the height, so we're going to leave that as height. Now, just a reminder, it doesn't matter which is base 1 and which is base 2. I could have done 5 plus 10. It's the same as 10 plus 5, so that doesn't matter. The next step is going to be to combine your like terms, starting with the 10 plus 5. So you still have the 60 equals half, but now 10 plus 5 is 15 times the height. Next, you're going to multiply half times that sum of the bases. So basically what we're doing is we're finding the average of the bases. And in this case, half of 15 is 7.5. And then finally, we divide both sides by 7.5. And we get the missing height of 8. Okay? Of course, I can always plug that in to check. So we know that our area has to be 60. So if this is 8, we would average our bases, 7.5, multiply it by 8, and as long as we get 60, we're correct, which we are. Okay? So that's finding a missing height. Now, when it comes to finding a missing base, the steps, especially to start, are the same, but it's just a little bit more difficult, but as long as you follow each of these steps fine, or exactly, you'll be fine. So we start with the formula area equals half base 1 plus base 2 times height. Again, we're going to plug in what we know. We know the area is 160 equals half. The problem is we only know one of the bases. So doesn't matter again which one it is, but you see that we're missing one of the bases and we do know the height. Now this is where it's a little bit different than when we're finding a missing height. So next, we cannot do this addition here because we don't know what 13 plus B2 equals. We're going to figure it out, but what we're going to start with is combining the half times the height. So you're always going to do half times height. So we get 160, and half times 10 is 5. So we know that that's 5, and then we still have 13 plus the second base in parentheses. Okay? What we're going to do next is we're going to divide both sides by that half of the height. And that's going to eliminate that from there, and 160 divided by 5 is 32. So we get 32 equals, and now what we're left with on the right-hand side is just 13 plus that second base. I no longer need the parentheses because there's nothing else that it's keeping it separate from. So the last step then is to eliminate the known base by subtracting both sides by that known base. And we get 19 equals base 2. And of course, what I can do is if that truly does equal 19, then the average of 19 and 13, we would add them together, get 32, divided by 2, we'd get 16. So the average is 16. The average bases times the height, 16 times 10 is 160, and that's exactly what we're looking for. So we found the correct answer of the missing base is 19.